Welcome to our 199th full day on DeSo. 199.
199.
If you actually check Prosper Cloud, it says we've been on DeSo for 200 days, but this is actually our not 199th full day, full as in whole day.
Yeah,
So
half days don't count. Since when did half days count, right?
yeah, well, I don't know. I used to like half days when I was in school. I used to think they counted.
Yeah, but they didn't really. You usually just play games or had a party or ate cupcakes.
Oh wait, I'm still partially Clark Kent. Hold on a second. Okay, now I'm Superman. All right,
Okay, in your dreams.
so 199 days, and we had to make sure we say that this is sponsored by CloutFeed. CloutFeed is an awesome app for those who haven't tried it. Brian, you have something to say about CloutFeed?
Another feature I wanted to tell you about CloutFeed that you aren't allowed to do on BitCloud.com because it's not enabled is you can explore other people's wallets. So you can go to our account and see everybody we own and how much money is in our wallet, I think. So that's cool. That's a cool feature.
Yeah, it's like a spy technique. We can be spies. So let's get on with the news. GiveCloud yesterday, they released a really cool new feature on their node, and that feature gives you the ability to filter your notifications.
Yeah, so it's not a full filtration system. Basically they allow you to select a checkbox, and if you select that checkbox, you can only see notifications from people you follow. It's a great start. I hope that they do it so that you can just filter out coin buys or filter out diamonds or filter out comments. And I'm sure they're headed that way, but I like to see these differentiating features come about on other nodes because that's important and that's what's going to drive people here. We want it to kind of fragment into different areas so that there's things for everybody. Right now, bitcloud.com is great, but I think there's so many other better places we're going to take this DeSo technology in the future.
Yeah, so in GiveCloud's run by Raj Lahoti, and Cyrus Abraham's helping him run that node as well. So they're doing a great job. Congrats to them for getting this done. And we're looking forward to see what they add to their node in the future. Yesterday, Nader made an interesting post, and it's kind of like a two-part post, which I kind of want to touch on both pieces of. So the beginning of the post said, the free market is going to break up Facebook thanks to technology like DeSo. And I believe it's going to happen a lot sooner than we think. And then he finished that by saying, hope you're ready for another big announcement this week. And another had asterisks around it. So it's interesting that he's saying this and then jumps right into the announcement coming. So like, is this announcement going to kind of thrust DeSo way up there and kind of like make Facebook start becoming more fearful? I don't know. It's interesting that it's all in one post.
And right before we started filming this, we had the argument, why did he put another in the little asterisks? Does he mean another, like there's two announcements coming, one maybe being the referral program or whatever he is talking about to increase user activity and engagement, and then another in addition to that, or another from last week? So we don't know.
I think he just means another because last week we had a big announcement. I think we're going to have another announcement this week. But the whole Facebook thing, that the free market is going to break up Facebook, and he thinks it's going to happen a lot sooner than we think. So what does he know? What's happening? I mean, it's becoming more and more evident that more people are getting pissed off at Facebook. So who knows what will happen? I mean, at first it seemed like it was mostly like a conservative on the political spectrum in the US, a conservative point of view, but it's kind of metastasized, and pretty much everybody around the world kind of has issues with Facebook right now, I think.
Yeah, and just to the point of that he's talking about Facebook and the free market breaking them up, I think there's a lot going on. People want the government to maybe break them up or to put regulations in place. But I think he's saying we don't need that because the free market, which is decentralized social media, DeSo, that's going to be able to kind of do it for them. And once people find out about DeSo and everything it has to offer, whether it's the creator coin and the ability to earn, or just the fact that you can't actually be banned or censored from the blockchain level, from the protocol level. You can only be banned and censored from a node level. And we already have probably close to a dozen different nodes. And these nodes can pick and choose how they want to moderate things. So that's going to be the big selling point, I think, is the fact that, hey, if say Donald Trump and those who support him want to create their own node and allow for things that maybe Facebook doesn't want to allow for, they can do that. And the block, it will always be on the blockchain. And maybe bitcloud.com won't show all of that, but it doesn't matter because there's still that other node that people can access that information from.
Well, I think, you know, you look at decentralized social media, and no matter what point of view you have, it's an improvement over what's already out there. If you're against misinformation, you know, nodes can still block misinformation. It helps the governments track misinformation. It helps researchers track misinformation. It helps the media track misinformation. If you're against, you know, corporate control vanishes because it's now in the blockchain, just like Bitcoin, and nobody has control over it. You know, there's just so many benefits, no matter what your point of view is, that it just makes sense. And I think we're going to see essentially the entire internet's eventually going to be decentralized. I think that's what Web3 is going to entail. I think eventually there's going to be decentralized messaging apps, decentralized banking. You know, everything's going to be decentralized, whether it happens within a year, 10 years, 20 years. I think that's the direction we'll eventually be going.
Well, and it's kind of funny because decentralized social media actually centralizes the internet in some respect, in that all these nodes are going to be operating on a single blockchain, and these nodes can push and pull information to that blockchain, so that blockchain is actually the center of all the nodes. So it's decentralized, but the nodes are all working together. And I think that's actually a really unifying approach. I think that it allows certain people to see certain things that they want to see, while other people don't have to see it, but it's all there in a centralized blockchain. Not centralized, I don't want to use that word, but a blockchain that's feeding into all this. So that everybody's thoughts and data is all in this blockchain, but only the node you go to will be what you want to see and what you will see. So it's really an interesting concept. And I think that this is the future of the internet. This is Web3 that everybody's talking about. And I think over the next couple of years, we're going to see this more and more, where you're going to have layers of the internet that are operating into a single blockchain, but all interacting with one another.
And you have to imagine that this is a dream come true for data analysts. You know, all the data is going to be out there, and we're going to be able to come up with really unique things, I think, using that data. And, you know, there's going to be some positives, there's also going to be some negatives, but ultimately, I think it's going to be a positive for humanity.
Yeah, and I said this before, in a decentralized blockchain database, the data is actually a utility for all the nodes and for everybody that are going to those nodes. Whereas before, if you went to Facebook, that data on Facebook is an asset of Facebook, a corporation that can pick and choose who they want to share that data with, who can have access to it for research or for the government. They can pick and choose how they want to monetize that data. But when data becomes a utility, everybody can use that data how they wish in a democratized way.
Exactly. We all have access to the data. So whether you're a data scientist from MIT, or you're the United States government, or you're a corporation looking to, you know, kind of get some insights, anybody can access it. So let's go into the second part of his post, where he says, "Hope you are ready for another big announcement this week." What do we think the announcement is? Do we have any idea? I know last week we were talking about probably a referral program. We've heard that the referral program is ready. It's just being ready. They're just waiting to roll it out. We also heard it could, you know, we've heard rumors that the new front end could be coming out. Could it be both? I kind of think that you don't release the referral program unless you're releasing the referral program with a new front end, because
I agree.
you don't want people coming to the old site. You want people going to the new site. So
now here's the question. Will the new front end be bitcloud.com, or is it going to be on another domain?
no, I'm fairly certain the new front end will be released on a whole nother node, a whole nother domain name. I don't think it's going to be DeSo.org. I think it's going to be something away from DeSo. But I mean, I don't know. Wait and see. We also know that Gem's coming sometime. I don't know how soon, but that's another node that, you know, that I hear great things about that.
Yeah, and this is all a lot of speculation. We don't really know much more than anybody else right now. We're picking and prying at people, but most people that are in the know aren't really talking because they want it to be a surprise, because they want that media attention. And like we said before, if you blow the surprise and the news trickles out, the media has no incentive to be the one to break the story. So I think this coming week's going to be big. I think there's going to be more than one thing that's going to be big, and I think we'll see.
So the price of DeSo on Friday, it fell all the way down to $85. But now, since it has rebounded and is back
wow,
up,
really? I didn't catch that. It hit 85?
It hit 85 on Friday on blockchain.com. Blockchain, is it blockchain.org? I don't know, blockchain.com, I believe. So it hit 85 and has since rebounded. It's sitting at approximately 116 right now. I think it was up to 122 last night. So it's great to see it rebound. It kind of bounced off that $100 level. I know it fell all the way to 85, but that was a quick fall and it bounced pretty quick. And the candle kind of established itself above the 100 level, which is a really good sign. It's kind of indicates that perhaps it's setting a floor at 100. But this announcement that's coming up, we'll see what that does to the price.
Yeah. I mean, last big news, which was the DeSo news, price spiked tremendously. I mean, we saw it more than double. So I think that if it's something super positive, like I think we're going to see, I think the price will probably go up, but probably after it goes up, it's going to fall back down a bit. And it's just like a stair step. So don't get too excited, but I think that as long as there's a nice trend to the upside, we don't go back down to 50 or wherever we were, I think everything's going to be pretty good.
So Spookies last night, in coin holder royalties alone, they earned $3,500. So $3,500 just from this secondary sale of Spookies went back into the coin for the coin holders, which is amazing. You know, so that means that there's what, 35,000 in sales, because I believe their coin holder royalties are 3,500 or 10%. So that's tremendous. The Spookies are on fire in the secondary market. You know, there's 500 of them. They released the rarity score of all of them. So now you can kind of see which ones are the most rare. There's also the original 10 Genesis Spookies. I really wish we got some of those, but they're like really, really rare because they're all unique in their own way. And they're not part of the Spooky 500 collection. So yeah, it's great to see.
Yeah. I think that the fact that they earned $3,500 their coin holders last night alone really shows you how powerful the creator coin can be for investors. I mean, you can buy a bunch of spooky NFTs and hold those, or you can buy the spooky creator coin. And as these spookies start selling on the secondary market, and as the price starts rising, you're going to take advantage of that as well. So there's really multiple ways to kind of take advantage of the situation from an investment standpoint if you like a project.
Yeah. So we also want to remind you that these videos are being minted as NFTs. So we have started uploading them directly to DeSo, and we mint them as NFTs. And the first person who bids 0.25 DeSo wins the NFT of the video. So feel free to bid, feel free not to. And I think we're going to have a guest tomorrow on our 200th episode. So we're looking forward to that. It's going to be a big celebration, and we'll talk to everybody tomorrow.
Check out CloutFeed.
Check out CloutFeed.